One. Okay, well, good afternoon, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us for our August Spotlight. This morning, we're going to be talking about emergency preparedness. And as you see here, September is actually the National Preparedness Month. We started this off with just building an emergency kit when we talked about it in Safety Committee. And as we started looking and finding more information and we found out that it was National Safety Month, we decided to actually build on it. We actually decided to give you guys some information to get you ready for September and get you thinking about national disasters that go on, like the hurricanes, tornadoes, the earthquakes, wildfires, the floods. And we know the snowstorms or the blizzards that happen. And when these things happen, how many people are prepared at home? How many people are prepared for any kind of national disaster? Do you know what you need to do to be prepared for a national disaster?
School already canceled for more than 1 million children tomorrow. One of the real fears as we head into this evening, the winds up to 75 miles an hour and the power now a real concern. Meteorologist Rob Marciano in Boston tonight, where authorities are urging everyone to take these blizzard warnings seriously.
Tonight, blizzard warnings posted from New Jersey to Maine. Most of those governors sending dire warnings.
Extreme snowfall, hurricane force winds.
It should not be taken lightly.
Travel ban for the entire state.
Please remain home and remain off the roads.
Thousands of state workers told to stay home. Schools canceled. State officials shutting down roads tonight for everyone except emergency vehicles. Salt trucks along the East Coast out in full force. The storm expected to dump up to 30 inches in some areas with winds gusting to 75 miles per hour. At this New Jersey command center,
80 eastbound, 32.5, silver Toyota stuck.
3,700 trucks ready to roll.
We are the first responders. If we don't have the roadway systems cleared, then fire trucks, police trucks, ambulances cannot get through.
You know, we do get the hurricane warnings. You know, we have been blessed where we haven't had to actually board up our windows or anything like that. But I believe it was a couple of years ago, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and somebody might remember when we had the earthquake. It wasn't a big one, and very few people realized we actually had an earthquake. I was at home when it shook, and I didn't know what it was until I started talking to people, and they were like, yeah, we had an earthquake. And I was like, is that what that was? So we do have the potential there. But again, with last year, we really want to make sure, with the snowstorms that we get, that we are prepared at home. For power outages, last year with the snow, how many towns, cities and towns lost their electricity, lost water, gas? If you lose your electricity, you can lose your heat, because a lot of people now, their heat is actually works with the electricity. So when you lose these things, are you prepared? When you lose water, are you prepared? Like Dulce said, a lot of people, what happened is, they hear big storms coming, and what do? They go out and go food shopping. Well, do you have all the other supplies that you need during an emergency? And again, that's what we want to talk about. We want to talk about, are you prepared in an emergency? Okay, and this is it, the plan. Do you have a plan? If you had an emergency, do you know where you would need to go in your town or city? A lot of people, when there's an emergency and they have to evacuate their homes, they either send them to churches or they send them to high schools. Do you know where you would go if there was an emergency? And then if you had to leave the town, if you had to leave your city, do you know where you need to go? Have you ever noticed on the highways and on the roads where they say evacuate this way? Have you noticed that? Well, do you know where that sign goes to? It's and these are the things that you want to know about, because you want to be prepared in an emergency. So, and this right here today, we just wanted to let you know, because again, we said September is National Preparedness Month, and we want you to start thinking about this. Get a plan. Do you have a work plan? And I know that on one of our spotlights, we talked about the evacuation and what we need to do here. Well, you also should have one of those plans for home, for your family. It's okay, let's say you're all there, your whole family's at home. Do you have a plan to get out of the house? Do you know what you're going to take with you when you leave the house? Okay, let's say your family's at work, your family's at school. Do you have a plan for your family to meet somewhere, to call on a telephone and let them know what's going on, so you know that your loved ones are okay? So this is what they mean. Have a plan in place. Know what's going on in your community, where you should meet. Know where you should go if you have to leave your city or town. It's like in the work, we do have an evacuation plan. It's on the web, it's in the main office, so feel free to go and take a look at it. And again, think about getting a plan together for your family.
Good point, Christina. We never think of those things.
Yeah. Because last year we were close with all that snow. How many of us were scared we were really gonna get trapped in our homes? It's like, and that brought it home, like, you know, because I've been looking at this for like years probably, but last year I was like, and even this year it's like, okay, you know what, you need to take this seriously and get this stuff in your house now. Okay, and then the other is be prepared. And this is where the seed came from. This is where the seed started with this spotlight. It was like we wanted to put together an emergency kit for you guys and show you what you needed in an emergency kit. But again, as I was looking, it was National Preparedness Month. We wanted to give you guys some more information. And what they want you to do is they want you to be prepared. And there's different ways, like we have the first aid kit. And that's just you have it at your house in case you like cut yourself, you burn yourself, or there's some kind of minor injury, and you want to make sure that you can care for your family and yourself at that point. And you're like, okay, fine. And then there's the personal emergency kit. And actually we have one of those right here. And it just has like a number of different things in it. It has like a light stick. It has like a poncho in case you know it's like torrential rains or something. You have to go out into a blanket in case you lose your heat and you need to keep warm. It has hand warmers, and it even has emergency drinking water, so in case, hey, the unthinkable happens and you lose your water source. It has a whistle in case you're lost somewhere and you now need to let somebody know you're there. You can blow your whistle and let them hear it and go, okay, you know what? We have survivors over here. So these things are really handy in any type of emergency. Now this right here, this is like a starter kit. It's bigger than the first aid kit, but smaller than your emergency kit or your disaster kit. Your emergency kit, what that has in it, it has a radio, it has like a flashlight, and it has like a whole bunch of different things you'll need in case you're cut off from the outside world for like 1 to 3 days. Because usually these kits come with like 3-day supply. And what I saw is you could order for like a family of 2, a family of 4, but you want to make sure that if you're cut off from the outside world, you have what you need to survive. And that includes water, and they even came with water packs. So this is what we mean when we say we want you to be prepared. You can find all this information, so if you want to go in and see what kind of kit you want to get for your family, what kind of kit you need to get for your family, you can find this information on the FEMA. FEMA is a Homeland Security department, and it's FEMA.gov. And they tell you, what kind of plans you need to have, what kind of disaster, they help you determine what kind of disaster you need to plan for and how to plan for it and what to do. I have here, nobody goes away with nothing, is I actually have a checklist. So again, this will get you thinking and keep it in your head as a reminder. This is a checklist of emergency supplies that you'll need.
No, you know what's over there?
If there aren't any questions, thank you.
Thank you. That's a good thing.
Thank you, Christina.
You're welcome.
That's very good.
need somebody to like hear you to come and rescue you. You have a whistle to make noise. It has like water in case you do lose your water source. It also has like a blanket in case you need to keep yourself warm. It has hand warmers. It also has, which would have came in handy, an N95 mask. So these are things that you need in emergency. And as we go down the list, the kits get a little bit bigger. Like the emergency kit, that's for, again, being cut off from the outside world. That would have like a radio in it so that you'll know what's going on. It would have a flashlight, so you'll actually have a flashlight. They actually have flashlights now that will charge your cell phones. But again, we know the towers might go down. So this is what we talk about. This information, again, we wanted you to be informed because, again, September is going to be National Prepared Month. So we wanted you to start thinking about, hey, do I have these things? Is my family really safe? And to get you started, we're going to be raffling this off. So we want somebody to win this, and we want you to go home and really think about putting an emergency kit together, a bigger one, because this one doesn't have the radio, it doesn't have the flashlight. But again, you'll see that when you go to the page, and the page that you want to go to get all this information is FEMA, and it's FEMA.gov. FEMA is one of the departments with the Homeland Security. And I think you heard a lot when it was like Katrina going on, because they had to go in and clean up Katrina and give them money. But you want to really go there and look and make sure that you're safe. And with that said, I'm going to pass out papers. And please, if you're interested in the raffle, put your first and last name and put it in. We got our little box.
Yeah, right here.
Okay, pass those down.
Put your name in here after you fill it out.
And so that it looks fair, I'm gonna let y'all say. Okay, you get one out now.
You don't qualify.
We're gonna let Dulce choose the name, so you guys can't blame me.
Yeah, I will keep
And
the
then,
name.
in addition to take with you, what I actually had, Dulce had printed out for us, safety committee, is a checklist. It's a checklist of an emergency supply list. Okay, and I'm gonna pass them that way.
Make sure you just put one name.
Because I'm watching you all.
Oh, no cheating.
Here you go, Sam.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Billy, how many are you putting in? When you're ready, Missy.
Okay, you want me to pick this one?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna pick. Oh, okay.
I picked the first one. She'll be
Oh, the
somebody.
next guy goes. Okay. I'm gonna pick this one.
Oh, man. Is that you? No.
I know.
Yay.
Here you go, sir. Congratulations. Congratulations.
I finally won something.
But I want to hear next month how you win, and they supplemented that.
over though. Two new people just walked in. No. There's no redo.
But thank you all for joining me today.
You guys have
And
any
questions? No? Again, if you want to go and look up the website where they have like all this information, it's FEMA.gov. Okay, thank you.
Anybody has a card for spotlights that you want me to punch? If you don't, it's okay. Come up forward. We'll give you guys a new one.